So when Jalila like told me what was going on, I was immediately like, what can we do to help? Blah, blah, blah. Like everyone, when they hear bad news, they're always like, what can I do to help? But like, it's nothing you can like really do. You know, it's like, there's just not much you can do. So anyways, I was just like thinking. I'm like, well, it'd be cool. Because the other thing was you hadn't really reached out to very many people, right? Like
it was just a few select people, like my family and like obviously his family and then close friends.
Yeah, we were keeping it mostly private.
Because also, again, like, what's the fucking point? Like, you weren't accepting visitors. You didn't want sympathy. You didn't want fucking, like, flowers or anything. Like, what is the point besides just, like, keeping people in the loop?
Well, people can figure out when it's time for them to figure it out.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, I was in no hurry to let people know. Like, I'll let them know when I'm ready to let them know.
Yeah, because, again, at the end of the day, there's not really that much of a point besides like getting sympathy or like getting people to feel sad for you or sorry for you or whatever. And like, so that was one thing where I'm like, well, I don't want to be the one to like fucking just like tell everybody. Cause like, you know, I know like my brother is like kind of sensitive about things like that. I know like you tend to be like pretty like private about certain things. So like, I didn't want to be the one to go around like spilling the fucking beans on everything. But at the same time, I wanted to like get support from other people. Like I wanted to like create some sort of way for like friends to like write you a message or something. That was like my main idea. I was like, I'm gonna reach out to like the closest people, get them to write like a message, and then maybe I'll like put together like a little book. Like that was my idea. I was literally like, I'm gonna make a little book with like pictures and notes from like his closest friends, basically. So I reached out to like people we'd done videos with, reached out to like all the people I knew you like DM'd with on Instagram, things like that, which were like the people that were closest and everything.
The regulars, so to speak.
The regulars, exactly. And I got them to write a message. And I got a bunch of good ones. But the other thing was I also told him, I'm like, please respect his privacy. Don't like message him and like, please don't be like, oh, Andrew told me what's going on. What's happening? Hey, how's it going? I'm like, cause like, that's weird. And like, I didn't want that either. So I'm like, please like don't message him until it's like public knowledge, or if he contacts you, then say something, but like, please don't like be texting him. Cause like, that's not what he needs right now.
I also didn't have my phone.
Yeah, that's another thing. We eventually did get the phone. It was in the first car, right?
Yeah, I'll make that story really quick because we're kind of running in on time. But so I was using my phone as a flashlight to like see into the car to like talk to the person. I was in there. And so when the second car hit the first car, I just like released it and like I guess threw it into the car. And I didn't get my computer until like the third or fourth day. And I was like, and everyone was like, oh, your phone was destroyed. It was on the side of the road. It's been crushed. It's been maimed. And I was like, but maybe not, you know, like I was like, it's a waterproof phone that like maybe has a few scratches on it, but like there's a lot of data on there that I really want. Like I'd like to have my phone. So I jumped on Find My iPhone and it located it somewhere other than where I'd had the accident. And I was like, and it said 8 hours ago updated. And I was like, so someone either has it and turned it off, or it just died 8 hours ago, or, you know, I don't know the full situation, but I just turned it on lost mode and sent a message that was like, hey, I was on 285 and I stopped to help someone and got hit by a car. This is my phone. Please call this number. And come to find out, it was like I said, it was in the car of the person who...
The first accident, the lady that you tried to help.
The person the lady that I pulled over to help. And like she got it, like I guess like it was in a junkyard, and like one of her mom like went to go clear stuff out of it and like found a phone and was like, oh, well, this is important.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because the car is totaled probably.
Yeah, and then they like plugged it in. And then that message was like on the screen. So she then called my mom because I just made the number, my mom's number, because my mom's the type of mom that answers any phone number, and I'm like,
you never answer.
I don't know anyone who does that other than her. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me just go ahead and get this. So I put in that number, and then she like went to pick it up from her, and she was like super super grateful that I had stopped to help, even though like I'm not sure I really did anything other than just like put myself in danger. Like, you know, it's like maybe if I did help you, you could be really thankful for it. But I don't know. I just feel like I didn't do anything that's thankworthy. But that's just like, I don't know, maybe that's
thing is the sentiment of it.
Yeah, I get it. But so either way.
And in her eyes, she was probably like freaking out, and then you're like the guardian angel to the rescue kind of thing, like helping her to like calm down and like, you know, whatever. Yeah,
I guess she thought she was, you know, pretty much dead until I showed up.
Yeah.
But that was just like, you know, 30 seconds or whatever. But anyway, so I'd managed to get my phone back at that point. So
and originally I was telling people that your phone was destroyed. So I was like, yeah, his phone's broken. So, you know, contacting him is pointless anyways, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that was my main concern, was I didn't want you to feel like people were like reaching out and being like, oh my gosh, Andrew reached out and told me what happened, like blah, 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 like what can we do, blah, blah, blah. Because that's the first reaction, is people like want to come visit you and shit. And it's like, dude, like no one, like I hadn't even gone and seen you at that point either.
Yeah, I knew you'd been talking to people, but it didn't bother me because based on the people that were talking to me, they're like, oh, I heard from Andrew. And I'm like, yeah, that's someone that.
Yeah, but also it'd be weird to like, why was Andrew talking to Daryl or something? Like, he's never talked to that guy. Like, right. You know, shit like that. But
it was just like the occasional like person that I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like,
yeah.
It was like Ian was like, yeah, I talked to Andrew. Or like Lisa was like, oh, I talked to Andrew. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine.
But anyway, so that was my idea from the beginning, was to get together like this like book of messages kind of. I was like, I'm going to put something together for him to give to him in the hospital. Like, and then basically as it went on, I was like thinking, how are we going to release this like podcast we'd already recorded? And then we were like, well, we should maybe say something publicly about it. And then we kind of, I wanted originally, I was like, dude, is there a way that I could like reach out to all the patrons independently somehow without Richard like finding out sort of, or could I like blast his email list or something without him finding out? So then I could like surprise you with this like nice book of messages without it feeling like you were like asking for it kind of. And also, I'm kind of the only one in this weird position to be able to do something like that, because like right. Jalila doesn't know all the people from like Wheels to Walking community kind of thing, and like your family and friends don't really, and even like some of your other close friends don't really. Like I was like the only one in this weird, unique position where I felt like I could do something, so I felt like I should. So anyways, I was like, no, it wouldn't be right to like fucking blast his email list or something. Like that's totally not cool at all. And it wouldn't be cool to like, you know, anyway, so there just wasn't a good way to like reach out to a lot of these people. So what we kind of came up together was we came up with this idea to release a video from the hospital. And then we were going to set up this thing on the website, on the Wheels to Walking website, where you could leave Richard a message. And it was awesome. That made it, honestly. Like, that made the whole thing, like, so much more special, because then we were able to get so many messages, not only from, like, family and friends and close, you know, friends and, you know, people that we actually know, but we were able to see, because we asked people to leave a message. Basically, my intent was, if Richard would have died, what would you say about him? Like, how did he change your life? You know, because like Richard could have like fucking died. Like, This is a crazy accident. Obviously, it's been like a week and a half now, so like everything's calmed down a little bit, and we're not so like freaked out. Things are a little more back to normal with your health, at least, you know. But like in the moment, like everything was kind of freaky, and even getting the message of like, you know, Richard got hit by a car. It's like, fuck, dude, like. That's nuts, you know?
Yeah, people die when they get hit by cars. Like,
yeah,
even if they're in a car, they'll die. Like.
So it was just one of those things where I asked people, I said, yo, like, Richard could have easily died. Like, you know, he's made a big impact already on so many people's lives. Like, leave him a message, tell him how much he means to you. And yeah. And we got like 400 submissions in like the course of the next like 3 or 4 days. And basically, if you're watching the video, you can see this book.
It's a huge binder.
It's a thick ass binder. Like, this thing is heavy.
I've been looking at it for 2 days, and I'm still not even close to being halfway done with it. Like,
yeah. So basically,
I've been jumping around.
So basically, I put together. It'll be in the next like Wheels to Walking. Whoops, it's upside down. It'll be in the next like Wheels to Walking video. We'll kind of talk about it because we like vlogged it. But basically, I made like this whole book of like messages. Like the beginning, it starts off with like friends and family, all the people that I reached out to initially. And then the rest is just like these amazing messages from the Wheels to Walking community where like people wrote in you know, how Wheels to Walking has like changed their life and how it's helped them accept their wheelchair, and you know, how it's helped them look at life differently, or how it helped them not kill themselves or stop doing drugs. Like, it's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, there's a couple of them on there that I'm like, holy fuck. You know,
I cried so many times making this book, dude, because I read all the messages, because I was like having to copy and paste them from this like Excel spreadsheet, and I also like wanted it so that none of them like overlapped. So like if there was a message that ended on one page, I didn't want it to continue to the next page, because it might have been one of these types of situations where you're like flipping back and forth or whatever. So I was kind of like organizing it nicely and everything. But I was reading through all of them, and I was like, literally like in a Starbucks, like kind of like tearing up, like, God damn it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's sure
they're special.
Sure, they're messages to me, but they're also like, you're a part of this too. You're a huge part of Wheels to Walking. So it's like they were also written to you, because without you, Wheels to Walking wouldn't exist either. So yeah, they're special to you too. But yeah, man, there's so many on there that's like, well, goddamn, I'm doing my job then.
Totally.
You know, it's like I'm helping people like reduce their suffering and avoid the pitfalls of all the accidents, all the dumb stuff that I went through, and you know, a lot of the mindsets that I wish I would have had in the beginning, and all the perspectives I would have had that I never had. You know, I just share constantly, and like these people are picking up on it. Where like, there was one thing you said at this one video about this and about that, and then I decided to do something about it, and holy shit, this is crazy. It worked. And,
changed my life.
You know, it's like, thank goodness, you know, like that's...
Yeah, it's crazy. Hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode that clip was from, you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can click right here. And if you want to watch more clips, we got 2 more right here.